Hello, this is Yakov Fein, and today I'll show you what our company, Farata Systems, is doing in the area of data collection in ActionScript. We are trying to create collections that are much faster and give a better user experience with data, with large sets of data. When you retrieve a bunch of data into a regular array collection, the scrolling of the data in such components as data grid or lists can be slow. In some cases, you may experience even freezing effect when the screen becomes frozen. I'll talk about it, and I'll show you what do we do in this area. We created a couple of collections which are subclasses of standard collections that exist in ActionScript, and I'll show you in action this project. This is a project which is combined Flex Java project, deployed on Tomcat 7 in this case. It's a demo project that I want to show you now. I will start. Actually, the Tomcat is started already. So I'll run this program, which retrieves the data, thousands and thousands of records. I'm using the publicly available database about geographical data, and in particular I loaded into a database. In my case, it's MySQL server running on the same machine. I have a database table with about 400,000 rows. On this screen you see several tabs, and this is the data from that table, but they are filtered. In this case, it's 88,000 records. In this case, it's 207,000 records. Each of the records is a value object. Let me show you. It's a value object of this structure. So 2,000 of these, or 80,000 of those in the data grid. Let me show you how the scrolling works smoothly. By the way, down there you see these numbers. When you see the numbers, when the Java function is called geoservice.list, I'm using BlazeDS and AMF protocol for serialization between Java and ActionScript. You will see the length of the retrieval. Also on the screen you see this max time between frames. In this particular case it shows 288 milliseconds. Let me double click and reset it before I will demo this. Basically, this is the time between the frames in Flash Player. Flash Player is a virtual machine which is using internally multi-threading, and what they do serialization of data that are arriving via this AMF protocol in the same thread where the UI is being rendered. And if you run into lots of data, you may see substantial delays, and this number between the time between frames with regular collection will be substantially larger. I'll show it to you in a moment. For now, we'll just pay attention to these two radio buttons. At this point, I'm using our collections. And then I'll show you the same retrieval, but using regular ActionScript collections. So let me do the scrolling. I am on this 207,000 rows grid. See, I click, I scroll, and it's pretty smooth. Let me do scroll faster. See, in this case it's 1 minute and 38 seconds. And again, as a reminder, look at the number of the rows. How all this possible? It is possible only for one reason. I'm not getting all the data at once. I'm not getting all 200,000 records to the client. And as a matter of fact, I don't get it to the server either on Java. I'm getting the data in chunks. Our collections are using a small portion, like data pagination. Regular Flex doesn't have anything like this. Of course, if you have lifecycle data services, commercial licenses, then you may have some features. But again, it's done differently, not like we do it over here. So the point is, we are retrieving, say, 100 records at a time, and we are monitoring internally the position of this scroller. If the scroller is reaching the end of this chunk of 100 rows, it automatically retrieves the next portion, the next 100 rows, and so on. That's why the scrolling is pretty fast. In this case, you see a warning cancel after 0.07 seconds. What it means is if I will try to do scrolling real fast, under the hood, our collection may issue more than one request. So the next request will be canceling the previous request. So we will not getting the data that are not needed because of this fast scrolling. Now let me go to these regular collections. Use regular ActionScript 3 collections. See, look at this number, look at this. The retriever is still going on, and the screen is frozen at this point. See this, and now watch this time as well. Look at this circle of death. We can't do anything on the screen now. We are on that thread, which is rendering UI, and it is doing deserialization from Java to ActionScript. As you can see, retrieval of the entire collection took 18 seconds, and 11 out of these seconds this 11 seconds was spent in this huge frame in Flash Player. And of course, now the scrolling will work fine. Of course, we have all the data over here. But the point is that, first of all, it requires tons of memory. Imagine, I am the only one person over here. I am the only one who is trying to get the data from Java server, which is this large. And let me click on the other tab. Again, look at these running seconds. But what if multiple users are trying to hit the same Tomcat, right? So imagine how much memory we would need to have to read all these data sets. Look at this, 7.62 seconds was spent for these 88,000 rows. I had to increase the size of the heap on the Java side to increase the amount of memory that I have. But of course, this is not the best solution that we have. So let me go to Eclipse real quick, and I'll show you one more thing. This is geoservice.java. That's the place where we are getting these these selective selects. As you can see, in this particular case, I'm retrieving data from MySQL server, but I am limiting the ranges. So not just retrieve me everything, but retrieve me a range starting from this record, and I want so many records. These two question marks would dictate how many records per page. Let's call it a page that we want to display on the client side. So this solution is still being worked on, but pretty soon we will finish this debugging process, I'd say, or maybe we'll add some new features in there, and we are planning to add it to our Clear Toolkit collection on the SourceForge. If you go to SourceForge and to search in Clear Toolkit, you'll find pretty soon the source code of these collections. But this is our pet project, and I'm not exactly sure what the date will be, but hopefully we'll find a time and release it to the public. Thank you very much. This was Yakov Fein with Forada Systems.